first is the village question. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the village question. It's a recurring question that I have on StrongCom podcast. And it goes like this. Real curious about your thoughts on this. So the village question is pretty simple. It's just imagine you're building a village. Okay. Akin to Kanye going to Wyoming, maybe, but imaginary village, you're building a village and there's no people in it, but you want to get some people together. But it's up to you to bring those people that you want to be around to make a healthy community. So you have 4 signs, facing, 4 different directions that you can place one value or principle on each sign. So to attract the people that you want to be around to your village. So I want to ask, what 4 values or principles would you put on those signs to attract people that you want in your village?
Man, that's huge. That's a great question. I like that. I'm trying to think of the words that would best describe the things I'm thinking. And these aren't in any like order of importance, but I'd say the first word that comes to mind is faith. And when I say faith, I don't necessarily mean like a specific creed to or religion, but faith, the belief, high belief level. There's a feeling that you get when you're around somebody that believes in themselves, that believes in their potential. And because when you believe in your potential, you can believe in other people's potential, right?
Yes.
When you don't believe in yourself, then that's why leaders that's like leaders that are good leaders will learn to quickly take people with them, and take people to the next level. There's a difference between like a leader who inspires and a manager who just kind of like passes out duties and helps you clock in and clock out and gives you a paycheck. But I think faith is the number one thing. And I said no order of importance, but that's definitely the first thing that comes to mind. So just a high belief level, and within faith is positivity. That's that's one way that I would define faith, I think, is just positive expectation of good things to come. Continued, persevered, positive expectation of good things to come, even in the face of failure. Because if you're going to build a village, or you're going to create a home or a place for people to reside, you're bound to run into problems and you're bound to run into obstacles. And I think having that persevering positivity that I would call faith is the thing that can get you through anything. It doesn't matter how bad your life gets. If you're still breathing, then we got a shot, right? Everything's okay. Oh, well, I'm broke. I'm all this. I'm in prison. I'm this. Like, okay, are you alive? We got a shot, right? So I think that's the number one thing. And then probably the second thing would be, I'm going to wrap these 2 words in one, but compassion or love and compassion. I think that would be the second thing that I'd put in there. And that's important to me. And, some people like, even with my sharing my political thoughts and my political bent, and I had the most intense conversation with a former friend from 2015 that was just so mad at me, but he just hell bent on being in this certain mindset that he couldn't hear anything I was saying outside of it. And he said, "You're spreading hate." Mm-hmm. And I just thought, wow, this is that is the highest insult you could give to me. And it's fine, because at the end of the day, what matters about you is that you know who you are, regardless of what anybody else says to you. But I would say at the end of the day, at the core value of my entire life is love and compassion. And I think that would be the most, another very, very important thing that I'd put in there, because in love and compassion doesn't always look like the exact same thing in every situation. But I think that it's, for me personally, that's having a sensitivity. And this is what it means to me, having a sensitivity to the heart of God, the heart of the Father that cares for every single person. And and knows how to love and serve each person in the place that they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And having a sensitivity outside of my thought process boundaries to even break my thought process or my beliefs if it requires to act in more love. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, love that.
sometimes our beliefs will hinder us stepping out in love. So love would be the second thing. Like I told you before we started talking, I talked for a long time on each thing you asked me. So I got faith and I got love and compassion. Two more. Oh man. I think I would say, and it's hard to say, put this one in a word, but the word is elders. That's the word that comes to me, elders. Like, and I don't necessarily mean old people, but older people, elders. I think the fathers and the mothers are very like, okay, so this is funny, but okay, boomer, right? This whole thing that's going on right now, like, and probably people listening to me, if they're like in their 20s and like, whatever, dude, you're okay, boomer, but I just turned 37 last week, so I'm feeling it. But for real though, I mean, I feel so young in heart and spirit, but I see, like, I value my dad more than anything right now because I have a daughter. And I'm just like, did my dad look at me this way, the way I look at her? Yeah. Did my mom look at me this way, the way I look at her? Like it's just mind blowing. And I'm like, I can't believe I put them through some of the stuff I put them through, like, and I was a pretty good kid, but I'm just like, man, I think like we need that next generation and they need us too, because they don't know how to use their iPhones.
Right. Right.
No, but they need us too. They need our perspective too. And maturity doesn't necessarily come in years all the time. It comes in teachability through experiences. But there's way more experiences on that side when it comes to the next generation. So I would not want a village without the elders. And that doesn't mean that I have to be an elder. So the last thing would be joy, man, just good entertainment, joy, music, like happiness, fun. So those would be the four.
I love that, man. Thank you. I love those. I'm having a lot of fun with this question because every single time it's like four completely different answers, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's just so interesting to hear. So I really appreciate that. Those are awesome. Those are awesome.